This is a sphinx that got covered in mud from Noah's flood. All these mud.
Unfortunately, people have actually gone there and took photographs of it from two steps away either side, and when you do that you realize that it doesn't look anything whatsoever like a sphinx. That's why you'll only ever see those one images. People have cameras these days, video cameras. Do you know how many people filmed it where they're walking around it? None. You know why? 2 steps to the left, 2 steps to the right, nothing like a sphinx. So unfortunately, it's not a sphinx. Sorry.
Tartaria wasn't just a civilization, it was a threat to the system. A vast...
Excellent. Please show me one bit of evidence that anything was to do with the Tatarian Empire other than the Mongolian Empire, which was 500 years ago.
The Y-Files and the Crystal Skulls, he said that they were fake. Now, unfortunately, I have done a video debunking him on the Anunnaki, and I did say I wouldn't do any more debunking videos, so this is more of an educational video. So what his problem here is, he should have watched my video. So I've got an hour-long documentary, which you can get to from my website, ourtruehistory.co.uk, and he's basically gone along with Jane Walsh. Now, Jane was the person that wrote this book, and she actually works for the Smithsonian, who doesn't want the information out there that these skulls are genuine. So she blames Eugene Bowman, who was a French guy. And she comes up with the fact that there was some marks on the skull, and therefore it's tool made, therefore it's more modern than old tool made or alien tool made. The problem we've got there is, obviously my hour-long documentary tears this to pieces, but the British Museum actually has it on show. This is the British Museum's website there, and if you read down, it talks about that it was given to the British Museum or sold to the British Museum by Eugene Bowman. Doesn't mean he made them, and in fact if you read down here it doesn't actually say that it's fake. Now they say that there's a suggestion it may not be from. Now I don't know about you, but they've actually still got it in. Now obviously that's the British Museum, but the Smithsonian, who Jane works for, they wouldn't have their crystal skull on show, would they? Because obviously she's literally just wrote a book saying it's fake. Yeah, they've actually got it on show. The Smithsonian's got the crystal skull that supposedly is fake according to Jane. However, if you actually read here again, doesn't actually say it's fake. They say, well, we're not sure. And so how can they not be sure when their person that works for them, Jane Walsh, has said it's basically fake? So therefore it's not fake, and therefore the Y-Files should watch my hour-long documentary. If you want to go back and re-edit your video, feel free, like you should do with the Anunnaki as well. Don't hate me, I love your program. I get a lot of hate because a lot of people like your videos, but I'm just saying, you know, there's a lot more research. I've got an hour's worth of research that's not in your video, where it shows that the Smithsonian basically are lying or Jane is not telling the truth. So yeah, you can get to that from ourtruehistory.co.uk.
The Great Pyramid of Giza. That pyramid was not built by slaves. There's over 2 million...
Billy was asked an interesting question about the Anunnaki and was asked, would you put your net worth on one bit of evidence? And Billy said the pyramids. The problem with the pyramids is really there's only one translation, and that's done by the Moorhens of the Rothschilds, where they say that the Ningazida was the one that designed a pyramid. The problem with that is there's only one person that's translated it, so you could argue that they lied. Whereas I would go with the Enki and Nimna tablet, which loads of people's translated, where it shows that the Anunnaki genetically modified. In the very first, one of the first ever languages that they could read or write, they talk about genetically creating a new species from another species, which obviously is the Homo sapiens, and they did it around 300,000 years ago when the first Homo sapiens suddenly appeared. Plus we've got fused chromosomes and Rh negative blood to back that all up. That's where I would go.
What if the real purpose was to bury a lost civilization, to erase...
This person's referring to the Great Flood, saying, what if it was deliberately done to wipe out a civilization? We've actually got enough tablets to tell us exactly why it was done. The tablets tell us that the Anunnaki's planet came between Jupiter and Mars, which caused the gravitational problems on Earth, such as Antarctica having a huge chunk of ice the size of America slide off into the ocean and cause a tsunami, which is what we know as the Great Flood. This is actually backed up by Oxford University, where they also agree that the Great Flood was caused by a tsunami from an ice shelf from Antarctica. If you want to see all the evidence of this, an hour's worth of evidence that the Great Flood happened and why it happened, etc., and it wasn't to do with hiding a civilization, feel free to go to ourtruehistory.co.uk and you'll get all the answers there.
So is the claimed $425 billion of gold still there?
What if they gave the gold to the Anunnaki, the ones that created us, the ones that needed gold to sprinkle in their atmosphere? What if there's no gold left in there?
This person said that Inanna, who was an Anunnaki, was various different people. And I said she got some of the names correct. And then this person come back and told me to do some more research. So this person said that Inanna was Ashra. So I said, no problem at all, show me the evidence, knowing they haven't got any. Because this person obviously doesn't know who I am. So anyway, this person's replied back with, also known as, that's not evidence. You obviously clearly don't understand the word evidence. Replying back with telling me even more things isn't evidence. So please do not tell me to research more. I am the foremost expert. It comes across big-headed, but I put the effort in clearly because you can't show me what evidence is. Feel free to follow. Feel free to learn. You're partly right on some of the other names. Well done. But please, you need to research more. Why lie? So this person's saying that Earth has been moved by either an alien race or many alien races. This person doesn't have the evidence whatsoever. I mean, it's just literally made up. Why? Why make stuff up? Stop.
This is a follow-up to the person that said that Earth had moved by the Galactics. So I did a video saying, okay, stop lying because you obviously don't have evidence for it. Anyway, this person's replied saying, it has, in other words, it has moved Earth. You will find out, and I do not lie. No problem at all. All you have to do, instead of writing that, you should have said where your evidence is. Because if you state something as a fact, it means you must have the evidence to back that up. Otherwise, it's just your belief. So I don't know if you understand what the difference is between evidence and belief. So evidence is where you can say something and then say, here's the reason why I said that. Whereas you've just said something. And then on this one, you've just said, basically, I'll find out. Yeah, I'm never going to find out. So please stop. Why do people do this?
This was the numpty that laughed when he said that I am a paranormal researcher, and of course I am. And so I said that I am, and this person then replied, every paranormal investigator is the best. You all have the same exact evidence, 0. So I offered this person, would you like to see the evidence? Now, bearing in mind I've been doing this on TikTok, I've been doing it for 40 odd years, but on TikTok I've been doing it for 3.5 years. And I think out of those 3.5 years, I've probably asked about 3,000 people that have commented, would you like to see evidence? And funny enough, just one actually said yes, but they didn't end up looking at the evidence. And again, this person's the same. I offered, do you want to see the evidence? And they went radio silent. Funny, keyboard warrior. Numpty alert.
And Anubis. In all these cases, Sirius is also mentioned. In one of
Could you show me where it says in all those cases Sirius, in other words, the star system? Could you show me every single one of those? You probably won't be able to. So this is a channel called Kaleidoscope where someone on my live chat yesterday was saying that these guys, my research is wrong and theirs is right. And of course, as soon as I've watched 2 of their videos, straight away there's 2 errors. And I'm not knocking you guys, it's not your fault. It's Shah Mayri, she was the one that said, and I said, look, I will probably end up debunking Kaleidoscope because that's what I do. If people point me to somewhere that make up stuff that gets things wrong, I will debunk them because I only want the real information out there. I'm sure you would agree with that. So please don't do anything other than a video showing where all, as you said, all the mentions of Sirius are. Please show me that. Thank you.